Now it's time. Time to get your mind moving, reach for your dreams, and find happiness and success in your life. Welcome to The Mindset Man. And here is your host, the Mindset Man himself, Todd Radis.
Thank you for joining us today. Today we've got really great guests. As a matter of fact, you just listened to an intro, and I want to give a shout out to the gentleman we're interviewing today, Mike. He's the one who did the intro and the outros for the show. And Mike is a podcast consultant and music coach, and he has the Other Side Music Services, which is a coaching company which he can help you get whatever you need done and your music needs for your business and so on. So Mike's the guy to contact. If you want to see his work, go back, rewind this, and listen to the intro again. You get an idea what Mike can do for you. Mike and Kristina is our other guest, do a Life Is Now podcast. And Kristina is a spiritual and wellness coach. And she is one of the most fun people to be around. I just did an interview with her last week on her podcast, so you guys should tune in for that. So welcome both of you to the show. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you, Todd. We are super excited, and you are on fire, and we are just on fire with you. So this is awesome that we get to we were literally with this guy, Mike, right? And he is just nonstop, boom, 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 boom.
Yeah. We just left you guys, and when we left you, I was like, oh man, Christina's like, listen, he's ready to do this. I'm like, boom, let's do this. And this guy's responding to me at 2:00 in the morning while the rest of the world is sleeping. But the next morning at 5:30 a.m., boom, it's done. Thank you for inspiring and motivating us.
No doubt.
Well, no problem. You guys are proof about associations, and who you associate with matters a lot.
Yes.
So that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to go with associations because everybody out there needs to realize that when you have associations, the 5 top people in your life will create what you are. Who you associate with, you become. So let's start with you guys. Let's go with Mike first. Mike, tell me about the podcast and how your associations and so on have really helped that business.
Well, actually, my association, to just take it when it first began, I was at a personal development workshop, and Kristina, that you're listening on this podcast, was my coach. So she was really coaching me, and I had invited her to join me on this journey that I wanted to have, and I just left it alone. And then she came back to me a few weeks later. She goes, Mike, you never got back to me. I said, I didn't think you were serious. She says, okay, let's go on this ride. And ever since then, almost for 2 years, this young lady has been dedicated, has never let it go. And we've been so committed to this podcast. And the associations we've had is that we've gotten so much closer. We've trusted each other. She's built her brand, Transcending Peace. I built my brand, the Other Side Coaching Services. She started plenty of workshops. I started plenty of podcast workshops through podcast consulting. And together, we've created music therapy through spirituality and through music. And believe it or not, it's like what you say. My mom used to tell me this in Spanish. Dime con quien tú estás jangueando and I'll tell you who you are. Basically is, tell me who your circle of friends are and I'm going to tell you who you are. And meeting you, Todd, is exactly that association that, wow, that's what happened to me.
Well, how about you, Kristina? Or why don't you tell me about how you got involved and how I met you?
Yes. So as a matter of fact, it's great that you bring that up, Todd. And once again, I really want to thank you for having us on your show. You've got some major names coming up on who you're going to be interviewing. And so this is an honor. And a Thrive Tribe, in essence, is what Jenny and Craig, which is the reason why I know you, Todd, we've had the pleasure of meeting you, is what it's about. You definitely want to surround yourself. I used to be a lone wolf before I was Mike's coach. It was all about not so much me, but it was about I can do it all by myself and I could carry the world on my shoulders, and that doesn't work. So it's all about networking. It is all about not so much, well, yes, it's true. It's not what you know, people. It is who you know. And so, you are just living proof, Todd, that we literally don't even know you for like 6 months, but you are just, on fire, and you've written a book, and we just like connected. And it's so much about alignment and synchronicity. And, God, my mom talk about, I'm happy Mike actually mentioned that quote, because I was going to tell him, I'm like, Mike's mom. Well, my mom believes that God creates us, and then we just come together and connect. And that's exactly what we're doing here with you. So super grateful.
Oh, I'm grateful to have the two of you in my life. Actually listening to your podcast and seeing what you guys were doing. And I was doing some interviews, and I don't know if you know how I came up with the show. I was on Facebook.
Yes.
And I'm just chatting, and I'm chatting with some of my friends. I don't remember who it was. And this guy who had befriended me sends me a message and says, "Do you want your own radio show?"
Wow.
Yes.
And I don't know, maybe he heard some interviews with me somewhere else. But again, my associations led to those interviews that led to meeting the guy who owns the radio station. And then I hook up with you two. Mike is basically an expert in all of this stuff. So when I asked him, what do you need to, what's the best program for editing software? And his first question was, what platform are you using? I'm like, oh, Zoom. He's like, okay, well, you want to get this program and you want to do this with it and so on. And that's exactly what I did. And I'm cranking episodes out here almost as fast as I can get people on the phone now. And, I have Mike to thank for that.
Yeah.
No, if I could just chime in 2 sentences. The thing that gets to me about you, Todd, and I'm going to let people know, he is the mindset coach. But if you have any little bones that like have procrastination or lazy, do not be around Todd, because his infection will make you feel like you need to do more, and he really motivates people. And you're laughing, man, but you do this to me and Kristina, and
Seriously.
I'm so excited, man.
But that's really what it's about, right, Todd? I mean, like, to elaborate on the book you wrote, and it's simply about like that energy. You want to go ahead and say that, like, by chance or possibilities, like you happen to meet with this guy that now you have your own radio talk show, but it was who you were choosing to be, which is what we always love to talk about in our podcast. Life is now. Life is now is really what we love to drill and remind people about. That why do something tomorrow when tomorrow's not promised, right? And so with the person that you're choosing to be, you can attract, like, whatever it is that you want. And so you are attracting all the right people in your life, and we're just like happy to be one of those people.
Well,
that's less than 30 days.
Well, you mentioned the book, and in the book, I talk about creating associations, and I talk about the 5 people that surround you in your life. And I'm dead serious. If you surround yourself with 5 smokers, you're going to be a smoker.
Wow.
You surround yourself with 5 criminals, I'll bet you're going to be a criminal, because the mind gets used to the situations that we're in and gets used to the type of people that we're around. So if we're around people who are motivated and inspiring and supportive, we become motivating and inspiring and supportive rather than a criminal smoker. And, it's kind of like the hanging out with the cool person syndrome.
With
the really cool people are actually up on the other side. They're focused on what they're doing, but at the same time, they're helping all kinds of people. And that's what I love about your podcast, Life is Now, because I'm a person that lives right now, and I live at very high speed. And it's kind of funny. I usually have to take a nap every day around 2 PM because I'm exhausted, because I got up at 5. I went to bed at sometime between 11 and 1. Like Mike said, the one night I was up till 2 AM because I was learning all these programs he recommended. So thank you, Mike, for keeping me up till 2.
You're welcome. And I know this morning, I'll put it out there this morning, we're like in this little chat with Kristina and you, and I'm going, oh my God, Kristina, it's like 6 o'clock in the morning. She must be like, what are these guys doing? But
I was looking at
just
the time,
going.
but to be honest, they're guys who are listening to this. They're both beasts, and so like I always say on the podcast, Mike is the beast, I'm beauty, and like yeah, I'm in for the ride, and I'm excited. You really got to feed off of who you know, and you know, I one of the things, I had a coach once, maybe you know him, Todd, maybe you don't. His name was Jeffrey Combs, and one of the things that he would talk about is just like and you and I spoke about this. I always say I'm a recovering codependent person, right?
Right.
And so, and you're like, that's BS. Just stop the excuses. So, yeah. So one of the things that he would say is just like, although it hurts, but sometimes if you gotta like stray away from family, right? Sometimes you gotta stray away from your friends. Like, you know, it's not about you not loving the people that you surround yourself with, but you know, it's a new year and you want to create different things, and so you can't have that same mindset, right? If you want transformation, it's just not going to work. And I never forget when I first got into network marketing, and like, you know, I'm going to be a millionaire, you know. And it's just like, all right, well, how does a millionaire live? Right? Can you surround yourself with millionaire friends? I actually did have a few millionaire friends, and I mean, I'm not a millionaire yet, but just saying, like, all of that stuff really does matter. And I really fought my coach on this, because he was really like, you got to get away from your family. They're toxic. I mean, I love my family, but at the same time, they weren't going where I wanted to go. So it seemed as if I was dragging them with me. And it's just like, there's a point where you got to let it go.
Kristina, I couldn't agree with you more on toxic people. I've actually talked to people who had coaches and literally abandoned their entire family. But when I hear that, I'm like, now, wait a minute, we've got a mindset issue here. You know, these people are toxic, yet you're still letting them into your head.
Right.
And you're sharing the wrong things with them if you have to completely leave your family.
Wow.
And I don't think you need to leave a family unless you're going to get in trouble just from being around them, maybe with the law or something. Okay. Then you might need to leave your family. But generally speaking, I don't think we need to go that far to get toxic people out of our lives, especially family members.
Right on.
Now, I myself probably went 10, 12 years without more than one friend.
Wow.
Because I just didn't want to talk to people about the things I was dreaming of doing and the business I wanted to have, because I got tired of hearing oh, that's crazy, that's never going to work. And the perfect example is go to leave an everyday job where you're working with people who have what I call an hourly mindset. I get paid for every hour I work. I don't get paid for every hour I work. Matter of fact, I don't get paid for most of them. But when I get paid,
you get paid.
I get paid. You know,
that's awesome.
And I'm also spending the first 2 years creating this new brand, of which you're part of right now, the Mindset Man. This is my new brand.
That's
and
awesome.
I'm taking my coaching to the next level, and I'm going to expand that online. So, but I'm not going to allow people into my life, or I'm not going to listen to people who go, you're crazy. If I had done that, I would have never left my last job. I would have never gone full-time as a coach. I would have never written a book, because I had people telling me, people that I love, going, I don't know if that's going to work. You know the look. It's like,
yeah,
you're a little bit off your rocker. And
right.
Well, guess what? All the people who are wealthy and have made a difference in the world, they were all off their rockers too.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so associations are extremely important. Now, you're friends with Craig and Jenny D. I actually met you at an event. I love to drop Craig and Jenny's name because they're incredible people.
Yes, they are.
And don't worry, I'm going to have them on here soon enough. You'll have links. You'll have links to their sites. But Craig and Jenny are primarily increase people's mindsets through wellness first, mental and physical wellness. And where the I guess you would say the chunk of my business is getting people to think successfully towards businesses and money. But at the same time, I'm there on the mental wellness. You have to be there.
No doubt.
So we'll start with Mike. Mike, what are you doing for mental wellness? I mean, you and Kristina both started this journey a couple of years ago, around the same time I have.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you do when you run into these people to keep that mental health and wellness going?
I actually tell people that I want to bring them, if they allow me, to the other side, right? Because on the other side of this bridge of life is where all the possibilities live, the new mindset person, what they're trying to create. And for me, I really get to teach people how to move out of their own way. And I actually get to believe in people even when they don't believe in themselves. And I'm definitely that coach that is not the yes guy, and I'm not swabbing you on the back. I've had incidents where people are like, no, Mike, but you should be a little gentle. No, it's like, we're going to do this or we're not going to do this. I had a client that she took my podcast workshop, and then 90 days later, I'm like, where are the podcasts? She says, I've been, tied up. And I said, well, let me be clear. You had 90 days. It takes 12 minutes, 15 minutes to record one episode. You can't get one episode in 90 days. There's something wrong with what you're doing because you're not executing. And I don't go for that. And then 2 days later, Mike, I have 8 podcasts up. My website is up, and I got professional pictures all in 1 week.
Right. Well,
So,
that's the embracing excuses mindset. I can come up with a million reasons to not do something and have 0 reasons to do it. But it's really, you've got more reasons to do it than not do it. You're just, a lot of times that's fear. And people are afraid to take that step and jump in. And I posted on Facebook today, I'm going to ad hoc everything because it's faster. Basically, if you're
beautiful with us,
go ahead, Mike.
What's beautiful about like us three, how we aligned with the people's mindset is I'm also going, I'm not going to let you go. You're not a transaction. And if you can't get over this bridge, I'm going to extend my hand and I'm going to help you come this way. And I won't charge you for this moment, because I want to add value to people's lives. And what I've learned doing the podcast workshop, that it's not the physicality that really brings my branding forward. It's the coaching and the mindset and the support, because I had men and women like, I'm afraid to share my voice. I'm like, why? No, because my family thinks of me like this, and what are they going to say? And when you can really get in their mind and support them, then they can fly and do anything, which is, it's not about the program, how I'm going to record the podcast, but it's more about, let's be authentic, let's be loving, and let's be real to the people, which was my life. At one point when I was going through a divorce, I walked away, and my brother took a picture of me walking away, and he's like, when are you going to listen to your podcast? Life is now. What are you going to do? And I was like, whoa, it shook me. And now when I went back to listen to it, Mike, you have to live this. This is who you are, and you can't speak something on your show and not live this, because then we're being inauthentic to our viewers and to ourselves. So for me, that is what resonates with me and my business.
Well, see, I like that, because a lot of people don't realize you can start living it right now.
That's right.
You don't have to wait till tomorrow. You don't have to plan for it. You can change who you are this very minute and start practicing and create good mental habits. And I think that's what stops most people. We don't have cable. We have a TV, but we don't have cable or satellite. I don't have time to watch TV. I put the TV on. I put a DVD in of some show that I like, and my wife drives my wife crazy because it's almost all educational. I'm like sitting there watching old Napoleon Hill lectures at night before I go to bed. But then I also, I have Ancient Aliens. I think that show's great. It's fun. You have a lot of fun with that show. So, but people get addicted to something like the TV, and they'll pass on their dreams to sit down and spend 4 hours in front of a TV. I'm going to tell you, I know you guys, you know how much you can accomplish towards your dreams in 4 hours a day.
Yeah.
And again, that all comes down to how we believe and think, and that's mindset. That's where we all come in. We come in and help people get focused on those goals. So we're getting pretty shy on time. I'm going to give each of you a couple of minutes here. Kristina, why don't you tell us about any web pages, websites, places we can get a hold of you? Because I'm sure there's people who are going to want to hire you for spiritual coaching because they should.
Thank you, Todd. My website is currently under construction, but you guys can find me, of course, on Facebook and Instagram as Transcending Peace. And you can also email me at transcendingpeacecoaching@gmail.com. And, to continue to what piggyback off of Mike, it's super important to simply just make that choice and really take that leap of faith, which is what I always love to help my clients with. When I have workshops, it is not by surprise that whatever it is that I'm going through in my life, that's exactly what I'm supporting people and gravitating into my life. I mean, like Mike got divorced last year. I got divorced last year. And who shows up to my workshops? People that are like, I'm about to get divorced, or I've been trying to sign the papers. And it's just like, so it's all about perfect timing, making that choice, having that right mindset when you're ready. Right. And I love to support my clients simply to have that wellness balance, because it's so important to get you to where it is that you want to go and where you want to be and who you want to be. Right.
Oh, absolutely. It's all about who we want to be and achieving those goals. Same for you, Mike. How about some closing thoughts, and how does somebody get a hold of you?
If you guys want to get a hold of me, you can definitely find me on Twitter, the other side coach. You can find me on Instagram, the other side coach. You can find me on Facebook. You can find my group called Hunger for More, which is just people that are just hungry and hungry and hungry for more. You can definitely find me on any platform. I'm reachable. So anyone that says that I can't reach you, Mike, there's something definitely wrong, because my number is 646-203-4731, and you can find me anywhere on any social media platform. And I'm super excited, and if I can drop it, on February 20th, Kristina and we are launching Love Therapy for people that are looking for love in their lives and are still holding on to the hurt and the pain. So through spirituality, through music, through mindset coaching, we are going to find people love in 2019.
Oh, that's awesome. You two are amazing. I mean, I had to get you on the show because you've been you've actually been an inspiration to me too. Mike keeps saying I'm an inspiration to him, but absolutely. I went in and listened to your podcast, and I thought, wow, they're really good at this. And
thank you.
So why can't I be good at that? I know them. If I have any questions, I just need to pick up a phone.
That's it. By association. Come on.
Association, Todd. I must tell you, because you said this a little earlier on the show, I was that same guy not wanting to watch television. And it's funny that the girlfriend that I'm in love with, right, will watch like The Bachelor, the New Jersey Housewives, and then I keep going, man, but these people have the same drama, and they keep going in circles and circles and no solution. And she wants to find a great husband, but his license plate says no commitment. It doesn't align. And I feel like you go to my DVR, you're going to see Oprah, Dr. Phil, The Master Class, Tony Robbins, and I own it. I love all this stuff. And it reminds me of what you were saying earlier.
Yeah, well, it makes you feel good, and it gets you inspired, and it gets you motivated. And when you start listening to people like Mike and Kristina here and the other guests we're going to have on the show, and hopefully myself, you'll realize that you can get out there and do these things too. It's a personal commitment, and it's just a little shift in the way you think and the people you associate with, and you can really change your life. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in today. What's that, Mike? Go ahead.
I was gonna say if anyone right now that's listening to this amazing show that the Mindset Coach has, don't believe him and don't believe me. Don't believe Kristina. Look for his episode on the Life Is Now podcast. Look for his book. And talking is not his thing because less is more with Todd. Make sure you look for Todd Radis.
Yeah, I am a less is more guy. Usually when I have something important to say, I drop it in a short sentence and you've got to think about it for a second.
That's it. That's it.
You know? But I do love talking to people, and I'm really enjoying this new show that I have here, and just getting together with all these wonderful people I know, like you two. It makes for a great day. If you're having a bad day, pick up the phone and call someone who's awesome.
That's right.
And your day will change.
It's true.
Yeah.
So once again, thank you everybody for tuning in to The Mindset Man. And I hope that you're here for the next episode because we're going to have more amazing guests and more lessons to learn. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks,
All right.
Todd.
Yep.
Thank you for listening to this broadcast of The Mindset Man. We greatly appreciate you have taken the time to be with us today. You will be what you believe you will be. You will find the show at toddradis.com or inspirednewsradio.com. Have a great day, and we will see you soon.